For our children, no task is daunting as the one entrusted to our teachers. Far from being treated like royalty, they often persevere through tough and demanding conditions. A teacher plants the seed of a dream, waters it with passion, and nurtures it with encouragement. Through their own example of determination and belief, they help that dream grow into reality. And when dreams turn into achievements, it's only right to honor the mentor who helped light the way. Our police forces have sworn to live by the words, to serve and protect. While headlines often focus on rogue officers, there are many who remain true to their vows. Each day brings unexpected challenges, solving crimes, catching criminals, or responding to disasters. They face danger head-on as first responders. It's simply not true that great police officers are hard to find. Every day, many serve with courage, integrity, and heart, quietly making a difference, often without recognition. Our soldiers answered the call to serve our motherland. They risk their lives for our safety. They fight and bleed for our freedom and sovereignty. Every mission they take on is marked by courage, precision, and heart. Driven by unshakable patriotism, they show strength and compassion in equal measure. We raise our flag for these heroes and salute them with deep respect for the difference they make. The Metrobank Foundation, outstanding Filipinos stand as modern-day examples of what ordinary citizens can achieve. Their stories inspire us, not just to admire, but to act, to strive for excellence in our own lives. Because yes, anyone can be outstanding, and with heart, purpose, and service, we can all go beyond excellence. Across the Philippines, everyday heroes rise. They serve with compassion. They lead with integrity. They transform communities. They go far beyond excellence to shape our nation. This is the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos, the country's most prestigious career service award for teachers, soldiers, and police officers. The search continues this 2026. Nominate a modern-day hero whose impact deserves recognition. Because the true strength of a nation comes from its everyday heroes. Be part of recognizing the 2026 Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos.
Among all these milestones, we welcome the meaningful opportunity to celebrate and honor another 10 Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos.
Tonight, we proudly honor 3 police officers, 3 soldiers, and 4 teachers. They exemplify excellence in their fields and whose remarkable contributions to both service and community inspire us all.
As we celebrate the 40th anniversary of the most prestigious career service award in the country this year, we celebrate not only the individuals before us, but also the 4 decades of public service excellence and stories that define the Filipino spirit.
Lumaki ako sa hirap. Inabot namin yung wala kaming makain, wala kaming tirahan, walang tumutulong sa amin. Kaya alam na alam ko ang pakiramdam ng mga taong desperado sa buhay. When I was assigned to Tawi-Tawi, I learned how serious and heartbreaking the issue of human trafficking was. Many of the victims were women and some were girls. That's how Sagip Nini was born, to save even just one woman or one girl from that dark path. That's how every rescue operation felt personal, as if I was saving a younger version of myself. Every rescue operation felt personal, as if I was saving a younger version of myself.
Left, right, left, left. Buga! Ha! Buga, buga! Ha! Ha!
Ang nag-motivate talaga sa akin na pumasok sa pagpupulis ay yung aking father. Dahil sa kanyang integridad, pagmamahal sa kanyang tungkulin, nakita ko kung paano siya nirespeto at minahal ng aming mga kababayan. Isa ang Laguna sa mga probinsya ng Calabarzon na kinukonsidera as hotspot area pagdating sa illegal logging operations noong 2019. Kaya isa ito sa mga problema na tinutukan talaga namin. From 2019, nakapag-conduct kami ng more than 3,000 activities in support doon sa ating anti-illegal logging campaign, including na dyan yung mga monitoring natin, collaboration with other law enforcement agency. Sabi nga natin, wala ang kapulisan pag wala ang komunidad at hindi magiging successful lahat ng ating programa kung hindi susuportahan ng ating komunidad. Kung may tiwala sila, sila na mismo yung nagre-report ng mga illegal activities sa mga kani-kanilang areas. Let this be a reminder that real change starts from within our ranks through dedication, compassion, and courage. Let this be a reminder that real change starts from within our ranks through dedication, compassion, and courage.
Training future leaders. I think that's the legacy that I should be leaving when I vow na mayroong magtutuloy ng aming mainumpisahan ng mga pagbabago. My experience with the PNP Anti-Kidnapping Group was one of the most intense and unforgettable chapters of my career. I witnessed firsthand the bravery and valor of a fellow police officers who laid down their lives so others may live. I assembled a small team of tech-savvy police recruits who were in web development. Then we began building what would become the virtual learning system, an online portal that housed modules, quizzes, lectures. We trained thousands of police personnel online. The VLS is a legacy. It represents what can be achieved when we rise above challenges and choose to act with purpose and compassion. For me, challenges are always been opportunities. It's an opportunity to showcase God's strength, my skills, and my faith.
Sir, ma'am, we will begin in 5 minutes. So to our CES, you can play another round of our videos. May we request everyone, especially po dito, sirs, ma'ams, please Good afternoon. Again, good afternoon. Welcome to the nationwide information campaign for police officers as we begin the search for the 2026 Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos. We have launched the 2026 cycle right here in this hall last October 30, and now it's time to dive into the details. I am Police Colonel Jonathan Paak Pablito, 2021 Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipino Police Officer, and the Protect National Communications Officer. I will be one of your hosts today. To start the event, please all rise for the invocation led by Captain Johnson Guevara, PNP Chaplain Service. To start the event, please all rise for the invocation led by Captain Johnson Guevara, PNP Chaplain Service.
Let us put ourselves in the holy presence of God. Loving and gracious Father, we gather before you today with hearts full of gratitude as we commence the kick-off ceremony for the nomination of the 2026 Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos. We thank you for this opportunity to honor the men and women who embody excellence, integrity, and genuine service to our nation. Lord, we ask you to bless this gathering, inspire every participant, our leaders, partners, nominators, and all those who continue to believe in the power of recognizing what is good and noble in our society. May this event ignite in us a deeper appreciation for those who serve with humility, courage, and dedication. Grant wisdom and discernment to those involved in the nomination and selection process. May they be guided by fairness, sincerity, and the desire to uplift individuals whose lives reflect the true spirit of patriotism and compassion. Bless the Metrobank Foundation and all its partners. May their mission continue to inspire hope, excellence, and nation building for generations to come. As we begin this ceremony, may your presence fill this place with unity, purpose, and grace. May everything we do today bring honor to you and blessings to our beloved Philippines. All this we ask in your most holy name. Amen. May everything we do today bring honor to you and blessings to our beloved Philippines.
Please be seated.
All this we ask in your most holy name. Amen. May everything we do today bring honor to you and blessings to our beloved Philippines.
May I now invite Police Major Helen de la Cruz, Public Information Officer of the CIDG, to lead the roll call and recognition. Major de la Cruz is a distinguished 2011 Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipino Police Officer and a 2024 awardee for continuing excellence and service. Is a distinguished 2011 Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipino Police
Thank you very much, sir.
2024 awardee for continuing.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are honored to have with us today Attorney Samuel D. Pagdilao, Police Major General and Director of Criminal Investigation and Detection Group and former representative of the CIS party list during the 16th Congress of the Philippines. Attorney Samuel D. Pagdilao, sir. Good afternoon. We also have Police Major General Wilson Joseph F. Lopez, the Director for Intelligence, Philippine National Police, 2007 Country's Outstanding Police Officers in Service, and 2007 Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipino. Sir. We also have with us the representatives from the Metrobank Foundation, Mr. Kenny Ralph Fernando and Ms. Crystal Batino. And with our institutional partner and recognizing the country's outstanding police officers in service, the President of the Rotary Club of New Manila East, Mr. Majomi Borlaza. Sir. Also with us in this hall are the awardees of the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Police Officers. We have also the executive officers and admin officers of the directorial staff, the Chief of Staff and Chiefs of Administrative and Resource Management Division of the PNP National Support Units, administrative officers of the PNP Command Group, city district directors and chiefs of district personnel and management divisions of Northern, Eastern, Manila, Southern, and Quezon Police Districts. Also with us today are the personnel from the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, Special Action Force, Aviation Security Group, Police Community Affairs Development Group, Anti-Cybercrime Group, Anti-Kidnapping Group, Highway Patrol Group, Intelligence Group, Training Service, Communications and Electronic Service, Information Technology Management Service, Health Service, National Capital Region Police Office, Police Regional Office 3, and Police Regional Office 4A. Attending virtually are our regional directors and provincial directors, force commanders of the regional mobile force battalions, and company commanders of the provincial mobile force companies, and all our station commanders. And that's all. Welcome and good afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Major Helen de la Cruz. And to officially welcome us for today's event, may we call the PNP Director for Intelligence, a 2000 Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipino Police Officer, Police Major General Wilson Joseph Lopez. Let's give him a warm applause.
Police Major General Samuel Pagdilao, sir, our mentor, palakpakan po natin siya. Mukhang napakahina yung palakpak kay Sir Sammy. Wala bang ilalakas yan? That's better, thank you. Mr. Kenny Ralph Fernando, the Program Manager and the Head Excellence Award Unit of the Metrobank Foundation Incorporated. Ms. Crystal Batino, the Assistant Program Manager and Excellence Award Unit of the Metrobank Foundation. Mr. Mayumi Borlosa, the President of the Rotary Club of New Manila East. The men and women of the Philippine National Police, both physically and those who are watching online, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is a real privilege to welcome you today to this public briefing for police officers held in line with the 2026 Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipino Search. This gathering is more than just an event. It is a celebration of the exceptional dedication of our community's finest. Our teachers, our soldiers, and of course, our men in uniform from the Philippine National Police, who serve with integrity, courage, and heart. This year's search continues the proud tradition of recognizing those who go above and beyond, showing excellence in public service. To our officers here today, your role in protecting the communities, maintaining peace, and earning the trust of the people is invaluable. The courage and commitment you show every day set the standard for what it truly means to be an understanding Filipino. As we go through today's briefing, I encourage everyone to participate actively, take in the details about the nomination and selection processes, and reflect on the impact of your work has not just within the force, but in the lives of the communities we serve. Thank you for your service and for being part of this meaningful initiative that honors excellence, dedication, and integrity, and together we can continue building a safer and stronger Philippines. Again, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.
Thank you, Major General Lopez, sir. And now, Police Major General Samuel Pagdilao Jr., retired, is a former lawmaker for the Anti-Crime and Terrorism Community Involvement and Support, or the ACT-CIS party list, from 2013 to 2016, and once led the PNP CIDG from 2011 to 2013. Beyond his distinguished service in law enforcement and Congress, he championed the creation of the country's outstanding police officers in service, or COPS. It is now renamed the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos Award for Police Officers. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Attorney Samuel Pagdilao Jr. as he delivers his inspirational message.
Good afternoon, everyone. First off, I'd like to thank you for inviting me to be your guest or to be your inspirational speaker this afternoon. I'd like to assure you that there is nothing more inspirational than when one is in the presence of the finest officers of the Philippine National Police. Please allow me to dispense with the strict protocol of acknowledging everybody, but allow me to just, acknowledge a few, so that we can dive into my message right away. So I'd like to greet Major General Wilson Lopez. Kailangan mas malakas yung palakpak niyo, ha? Wala na bang ilalakas yan? I'm just returning the favor, ha? Of course, our friends from the Metrobank Foundation, led by the head of the Metrobank Foundation Excellence Awards Unit, Mr. Kenny Fernando, and Ms. Crystal Batino, his deputy. I also want to acknowledge, of course, the President of the Rotary Club of New Manila East, President Jumi Borlasa, and also those who are watching with us through the facilities of the Wi-Fi or online. But most of all, those who are present here this afternoon, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Okay. History has always been one of my favorite subjects because it teaches us that the past isn't just a chronological order of events, but a treasure chest of lessons. It shows us how a single or a simple idea can pave the way for changes that may even be altering the course of history, or simple ideas that can spark the beginnings of things or events. At this time, I would like to share with you one that carries a profound significance, one that is deeply personal to me and born out of a pivotal moment in my own personal life history. In 1998, I had the honor of standing in the Heroes Hall of Malacanang Palace as one of the 10 outstanding policemen of the Philippines. To my left and right were giants or legends in the police service, in the police organization. There was General Panfilo Lacson, who was Chief PNP, and there was then Superintendent, now USEC, Gilbert Cruz. We were standing among 10 awardees about to receive that significant and memorable award from no less than the President of the Republic of the Philippines. As I listened to the narrative of each awardee, a clear pattern emerged. Every citation is a story of incredible bravery. It celebrated life-risking achievements such as the busting of criminal syndicates, the apprehension or neutralization of wanted or notorious criminals, and the solution of sensational cases. While these acts are undoubtedly heroic, I noticed a crucial omission. There is absolutely nothing mentioned about the toils, the efforts of police officers who were able to convince civilians or community members to help the police as partners in the fight or in the war against crime. Nothing is said about it. And I was actually worried, how come that these achievements are not recognized? So these are omissions that is truly worrisome, no? Because we know for a fact that in police work, crime solution, crime prevention, the essential elements of success is the participation of the community. When the public gives their full trust to the PNP, you can expect that there will be engagement, participation, willingness of the public to go forth and participate or cooperate with the Philippine National Police. No mention of community involvement, of witnesses whose accounts were essential in the apprehension of criminals, busting of criminal syndicates, and even the solution of cases. Even my own narrative did not mention about the participation of the community. I was being awarded as one of the 10 outstanding policemen for a series of accomplishments, one of which, of course, is the solution of a serial murder, robbery murder case that happened in Caloocan. Then from Caloocan, the perpetrators, a gang, went to Quezon City, but within the day, we were able to solve this case. That was during the time of General Lacson as Chief PNP, and then it was during the presidency of Joseph Estrada. Okay. So, what I'm trying to point out, that in police work, it is truly indispensable that the community participates. We are not super cops. We are not superheroes that we can do police work by ourselves. We need the participation of the public, the community. This concern stuck with me, the absence of recognition for those policemen who were able to convert the public from their apathetical stance to one that is cooperative and one that is willing to support the police in crime fighting. I began to envision an award for a different kind of heroism, one that honors policemen who excelled in partnering with and mobilizing communities. To me, these acts are no less heroic than engaging in shootouts with the bad elements. This reminds me also of the words of Sun Tzu, and I quote, "The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting," unquote. So winning the war against crime without firing a shot requires the same art, but uses a different weapon, the weapon of empathy, which earns trust, the people's trust. When the public trusts the police, they become cooperative and engaging. With an engaging public, a safe community cannot be far behind. And to me, that is the ultimate victory. This was actually my compelling reason and motivation when, as president of the Rotary Club of New Manila East in 1999, I led my club in planting the seed that started the search for the best community-oriented policeman, one that gives premium to activities that convince the people, the public, to come forth and willingly help the police. Our goal was simple yet transformative: to recognize the unsung heroes whose strength lies in building trust and whose greatest achievement is a community that is engaged, empowered, and united in protecting itself against crime. Police officers who believe in the philosophy that the police is the community and the community is the police. And I'm proud to report to you that the first Best Cop awardee in the officer category went on to become the chief PNP. He was then Superintendent Guillermo Eliazar. So when the Metrobank Foundation and the Rotary Club of the New Manila East became institutional partners, the Best Cop became the forerunner of the Metrobank Foundation search for the country's outstanding policemen in service, which eventually evolved as one of the pillars of the present Metrobank search for the outstanding Filipinos, which honors the nation's finest teachers, soldiers, and police officers. I am incredibly happy that this search has become an institution that is well respected because of the winners it has chosen, and fortified further by the selfless services that these awardees continue to do for society. Through the PROTECT program, by the way, PROTECT means or stands for police officers responsible for organizing, transforming, and empowering communities. So through PROTECT, COPS awardees are able to share or give back God's blessings to marginalized communities throughout the country. The creation of PROTECT is a commendable move directed towards continuity of service. It is service beyond the award. It is a mechanism for showing gratitude, for giving back to the community. So the significant humanitarian missions carried out by PROTECT during these past months and the past year, especially those carried out in the far-flung edges of the country, from Tawi-Tawi in the south to Pag-asa in the West Philippine Sea and Batanes in the northern tip, are profound actions showing that the police don't just arrive when there is trouble. It shows that you are also there to help the community thrive or even to survive. So this, to me, is the foundation of true security, one that is achieved not without interaction with the community, but hand in hand with the community members. And so to all of you who are here today, I ask you to be the embodiment of the modern police officer, both courageous and compassionate, both an enforcer of the law and a builder of peace. May the PNP motto to serve and protect the people be above all to inspire and connect with the people. And to all the COPS, awardees, and Protect members, you have inspired us with your legacy. These are not just about the crimes prevented or solved, but also about the communities transformed. They are about the partnerships forged, the trust built, and the belief instilled in our people that the police are their true partners and protectors. May your exemplary work continue to fight or to light the way and inspire a new generation of police officers to unite with the people for a safer community. To you, I offer my snappy salute, coupled with the simple words that you often hear from your superior officers when you do good. The simple words is carry on. Simple, but powerful and inspirational. So my friends, my former colleagues in the Philippine National Police, we have a job to do. We have the duty to ensure that our constituents, the people of this republic, will live in peace, will feel that they are safe, whether it's night or day, whether they are at work or at play. So carry on truly is a word that should empower you to do your duty according to the oath that you have given to God and to country. Before I end, allow me to extend my sincere gratitude to the Metrobank Foundation, which is the primary proponent of this project, and to all its institutional partners, the Rotary Club of New Manila East and the other Rotary Club of Makati Central, if I'm not mistaken, of course, the Philippine National Police and the PS Bank. Your shared concern, generosity, and leadership have made this dream a lasting reality. Maraming salamat, and I hope I've inspired you with this simple message that I've delivered this afternoon. God bless all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Our very own General Samuel Pagdilao Jr., the father of the country's outstanding police officers and service, and also an outstanding police officer himself. Thank you, sir.
Sir, please be seated. And now, to give us a deeper appreciation of the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos program, including who qualifies and what makes this recognition truly exceptional, let us welcome the program manager and head of the Excellence Awards Unit of Metrobank, Mr. Kenny Ralph Fernando.
Thank you very much, Police Colonel Pablito. Isang mapagpalayang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Good afternoon. Parang mahirap sundan yung message ni General Pagdilao. But ladies and gentlemen, allow me to provide you with an overview of what the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos is all about. For this afternoon, we will be focusing on two goals. That's why we convened key officers of the Philippine National Police who are eligible to nominate and be nominated in the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos. The first goal for this afternoon is we want you to discover and to learn. For us to be able to have an understanding of what the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos program is all about by providing you with the technical details as to the history as well as the purpose of this competition, of this most coveted career service award in the academe, the military, and the police sector. This afternoon, we'll be providing you with the overview of the guidelines, the eligibility criteria, as well as the procedures as to how you will be able to join and be a part of the competition. Likewise, we will also focus on reaching out and sharing to you, as well as to our institutional partners, the Philippine National Police and other program partners, to encourage more nominations from amongst your ranks. As you may know, we recognize outstanding Filipinos every year. But we always say that there are still many outstanding contributions that police officers are doing day by day that is waiting to be recognized. So for this afternoon, we will be zeroing in on the following items. We'll provide you an overview of what this program is all about, as well as the basic eligibility requirements as to how to qualify for the competition. Likewise, my colleague later will be providing you with the details as to how to join through the nomination procedure, and towards the end of the session this afternoon, we'll focus on some Q&A session. So first, let's have an overview of what the Metrobank Foundation program is all about. This program started as early as 1985 by the Metrobank Foundation. Back then, the founder of the Metrobank Foundation and the Metrobank, Dr. George SKT, only wanted to honor public servants who best represent the Filipinos. They wanted to honor these individuals, but at that time in 1985, the focus was only for teachers. That's why, as you could see, in 1985, this entire program, the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos, started with 3 different components. The first component is what we call the search for the outstanding teachers. This was started in 1985. Back then, Metrobank Foundation, in partnership with the Department of Education and the Commission on Higher Education, were only awarding and recognizing 10 outstanding teachers every year. In 1999, the Metrobank Foundation partnered with the Rotary Club of New Manila East through Major General Pagdilao in terms of the implementation and partnership with the implementation of the search for the search for the country's outstanding police officers in service, or what we call COPS. Back then, its previous iterations were the search for the outstanding policemen of the Philippines, the search for best cops, as what was discussed earlier by General Pagdilao, into the search for the country's outstanding police officers in service. And back then, with the Rotary Club of New Manila East, they were already recognizing 10 outstanding police officers. In the same year, in 1999, the third component of the program, we also partnered with the Rotary Club of Makati Metro, who was then implementing the search for the outstanding Philippine soldiers, or shorthand as what we call it, TOPS. Back then, they were also recognizing 10 outstanding soldiers throughout the country. So from 1985 to 1999 until 2016, there were 3 components of the competition, 3 distinct components recognizing 10 teachers, 10 soldiers, and 10 police officers. In 2017, the Metrobank Foundation rebranded the entire program from 3 distinct searches into 1 major excellence recognition program that we now call the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos, or the search for the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos. In 2017, from recognizing 10 teachers, 10 soldiers, and 10 police officers, we rebranded the program to recognize only 10 outstanding Filipinos. But it still has 3 components: the award for teachers, the award for soldiers, and the award for police officers. But this time, it's no longer 10 for each category, but 3 police officers, 3 soldiers, and 4 teachers. Throughout the year from 1985 to 2025, we're now celebrating the 40 years of the entire Excellence Recognition Program of the Metrobank Foundation. This program has already been recognized both in private and government institutions as the most prestigious career service award in the academe, the peace, and security sectors. In the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police alone, it is considered as the highest civilian recognition that a soldier and police officer could be conferred with. The program is implemented with multiple program and institutional partners. For the first component in the award for teachers, this is implemented along with the Department of Education and the Commission on Higher Education. For the second sector, which is the military sector, This is implemented in partnership with the Armed Forces of the Philippines, as well as the Rotary Club of Makati Metro. And the third component, the award for police officers, is implemented with the Philippine National Police, the Philippine Savings Bank, as well as the Rotary Club of New Manila East. Since then, since 2017 until this year, from recognizing 10 separate outstanding teachers, soldiers, and police officers, it was already reduced to 10 outstanding Filipinos, as I mentioned, 4 teachers, 3 soldiers, and 3 police officers. And since we started this competition, this excellence recognition program in 1985, as well as in 1999, we have already recognized a total of 725 Metrobank Foundation outstanding Filipinos, most of which are still in active service in the education, the military, and the police sectors. Of the 725, we already have 388 teachers, 175 soldiers, and 162 police officers. In terms of the 162 police officers, 3 of which have already been named as chiefs of the Philippine National Police. On screen is the entire process, the entire phases of the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos. Every time we implement this program, people would always say that it's a very long process in terms of the implementation of this program. True enough, the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos program begins on October of every year and culminates on September of the following year. Ganun po katagal yung buong selection process, and it is composed of 8 different phases. Happening on October of every year is phase 1, or what we do the strategic planning, where we discuss and we prepare for the implementation of the next cycle along with our program and institutional partners. By November or earlier, we do the launch, the official launch of the competition, signaling the start of the new cycle of the program. And for this year, we already launched the program last October 30 in this very hall, hosted by the Philippine National Police. At the moment, we're now at phases 3 and phase 4, which is the information campaign and the nomination. What we are doing right now is an information campaign about the program, but at the same time, we're already accepting nominations. This happens from November of every year until January of the following year. So for those of you who are thinking of joining the competition, asking to be nominated or be nominated in a competition, or thinking of nominating somebody or someone in terms of this competition, you still have until January of 2026 to think about it. Next is the 5th phase of the competition, which is the selection process, happening from February to June of every year. This is where we select our national pre-qualifiers, our national qualifiers, our national semi-finalists, and our national finalists. So all of those who join the competition will be trimmed down from the total number of nominees to a total number of pre-qualifiers and national qualifiers, then reduced to 36 national semi-finalists and 18 national finalists distributed from among the ranks of teachers, soldiers, and police officers. Likewise, Phase 6 is an integral part of the entire competition because this is the field validation phase of the competition happening from April to May. Since we are naming these individuals as outstanding Filipinos and we're putting the stake of the brand in this particular competition, we make sure that there are third-party validations happening simultaneously across different sectors. Each of the accomplishments that will be forwarded by the police officers, but that you will be forwarded, will be subjected to a thorough third-party validation. We will be sending technical experts to where those milestone accomplishments or those significant accomplishments are to identify the depth, the veracity of those competition, whether or not meron po talaga. Kasi baka mamaya, kagaya ng mga ghost project, ng mga flood control project, may mga ghost project din na nilagay. And with this, in this case, we are also identifying whether or not the claims of a particular police officer is actually true. Baka mamaya, kinuha lang yung accomplishment na iba to pass it off for somebody else. So all of this undergo a strict scrutiny, and this is not handled by the Philippine National Police. This is not handled internally. This is handled by the Metrobank Foundation as well as third-party external entity. Likewise, with the field validations, as you are familiar, you are also being subjected to a complete background investigation to determine your moral fitness and character for the competition. All of this happens during the 6th phase of the award. By the 7th phase of the award, happening on July of every year, this is where we do the final judging, where the national finalist will face a high-level panel of the final board of judges for a final selection interview. And by July to September of every year, we go to the last phase of the competition, which is the recognition, where we present the outstanding Filipinos to the public as well as to the different branches of government. You may have already seen this tagline over and over since we started. Beyond Excellence is the theme of the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos, because what we are looking for in an outstanding Filipino is an individual who goes above and beyond the call of duty. What we are looking for in an outstanding police officer is not regular police officers who does their job, but police officers who go above and beyond of what is expected of them and in their particular jobs. Each of the awardees, if you are named as a Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipino, will receive the following incentives. Each of them will receive a 1 million peso cash incentive, net of tax, meaning the Metrobank Foundation will be covering for the taxes, and each of those police officers will receive 1 million pesos in full. Likewise, you will also receive a Medallion of Excellence, which is exclusively awarded by the President of the Philippines in Malacanang. And at the same time, you will also receive the trophy that we call the Flame. Additionally, this is for the winners, but additionally for national semifinalists and national finalists who will not be named or will not be moving forward in the competition, we're also providing them with certificates of recognition as well as consolation prizes and cash incentives. Moving forward, apart from those material things that we provide them, the Metrobank Foundation also does elaborate recognition ceremonies where we confer the distinction of the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos to each of these teachers, soldiers, and police officers. We do a recognition ceremony every September during the anniversary of the Metrobank as one of the highlights of our anniversary celebration on what we call the conferment ceremony. This is the main awarding ceremony of the entire competition, where we already confer the distinction of a Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipino Police Officer, Soldier, and Teacher. Likewise, we have a separate awarding ceremony for the Medallion of Excellence hosted by the President of the Philippines in Malacanang. So we present you to Metrobank, we present you to the executive branch of the government, but we also bring you to the legislative branch of government. We also conduct separate presentation ceremonies at the Senate of the Philippines, normally hosted by the Senate President in a plenary of the Senate. A presentation ceremony at the House of Representatives is also conducted, hosted by the Speaker of the House. Apart from presenting you to complete the presentation to all branches of government, we also present you to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court also recognizes our Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos in an elaborate ceremony at the Supreme Court Hall. Likewise, for our program partners like the Rotary Club of New Manila East for the Award for Police Officers, they are also organizing their respective testimonial dinners for our awardees. On top of this, each of our partners, in this case, the Philippine National Police, also conducts a separate presentation ceremony, normally during one of your flag-raising ceremonies, where we also recognize our Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Police Officers. It's a series of recognition event that's happening. That's why for several weeks, for a week or two during the month of September, all of this outstanding Filipino police officers are being brought to series of recognition events. Now let's go to the chunk of the discussion for this afternoon. What are the eligibility requirements for police officers to qualify for the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos? First, let's take a look at the position and the rank. For a police officer to qualify, you must be holders of the following rank. If you are a senior police commissioned officer, the only eligible are those holding the ranks of police lieutenant colonel to police colonel. If you are a junior police commissioned officer, the eligibility is for police lieutenant to police major. And if you are not a non-commissioned officer, the eligibility is for from police staff sergeant to police executive master sergeant. So this is the minimum rank requirement. For those who are asking, officers who have already earned their stars are no longer eligible to join the competition. That's why we're always asking, if you'd want to earn the award, you better work for it while you still haven't earned your first star. The next eligibility requirement is educational attainment. For the educational attainment, both for commissioned officers and non-commissioned officers of the Philippine National Police, the minimum educational requirement is a bachelor's degree. Most of the time you're being asked, sir, if we have a master's degree or a doctorate degree, will it be okay? Yes, because the basic requirement is just for a bachelor's degree. There is no requirement for a police officer that a police officer joining the competition must have a masteral or a doctorate degree. Ideally, depending on your goals in life, you may earn those titles, but the minimum requirement for educational attainment is bachelor's degree. The next important item, and perhaps one of the biggest chunk of the requirement, is your tenure or years in service. The minimum requirement for you to be able to join is you must have been in active service as a police officer for at least 10 years. Now, if you haven't met this particular tenure, this is an absolute requirement na 10 years. I believe, unlike teachers, hindi pwede yung staggered yung sa Philippine National Police because once you come out, you are not joining anymore. So, minimum requirement po is 10 years. However, if you are joining for the current year, you must not have been on leave for more than 2 years immediately on the year where you would be nominated as a candidate for the competition. Likewise, nominees must still have at least 2 years of remaining service before reaching mandatory retirement. I think the mandatory retirement age for the Philippine National Police is 56. So you could still apply until you are 54 years old. But once you hit more than 54 or 55, you are no longer eligible to join the competition because of this particular requirement. Now, the requirement for 10 years is at the time of nomination. If, for instance, by this month, by November or December, you are still in your, let's say, 9 years and 11 months, you will be turning 10 years by January, you may submit at that time because the rule is 10 years at the time of nomination. Next, in terms of your appointment status, you must have a full-time or a permanent or a regular appointment. So I think this covers most of you, or if not all of you. One of an important requirement as well is your performance rating. You must have consistently receive a performance rating of at least very satisfactory or its equivalent over the past 10 years. There is a separate arrangement with the DPRM since based on your policy, you could be promoted every 3 years provided you meet the minimum requirements. So there's a special arrangement that we're doing with DPRM. But again, the minimum requirement is dapat over the past 10 years, very satisfactory or its equivalent. Now, if you are on official duty or on official leave or on secondment during the period, pwede po kayo mag-reduce. Bababa kayo sa next eligible na 10 years. I-exclude lang yung years that you were on leave, either study official or secondment. And the last requirement for eligibility is character record. Nominees must have exhibited a good moral character. Corollary to this, nominees who will be joining the competition must not have been adjudged guilty in any administrative, civil, or criminal case. The common question that we receive, sir, what if I have a pending case, regardless if it's administrative, civil, or criminal? So long as the case has not been decided with finality by the competent authority to adjudicate, you may still join. Again, the presumption of innocence until proven guilty will prevail. Again, if it's pending. But if it's already with finality and you're adjudged guilty, then you no longer meet one of the essential requirements. So just to recap, there are 6 essential eligibility requirements for joining. your position on rank depending on your commission within the Philippine National Police, your educational attainment, your tenure or your years in service, your appointment status, performance rating, as well as character record. Now, there is what we call a grandfather rule in the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos competition. Since we rebranded this program in 2017 and we increased the corresponding incentives to all of our winners, a nominee who has reached the final round or who has become a national finalist twice, or has reached the semi-final round or has become a national semi-finalist twice, will be subject to a participation cap and will no longer be eligible to participate in the future cycles of the program. But there is an exception to the rule. This rule only applies if you've joined the competition from 2017 to the present. If you joined the competition 2016 and below, that doesn't count. So pwede po na, let's say in 2017 you joined, umabot kayo ng national qualifiers, pwede po kayong sumali depending on your assessment, on your accomplishments and yourselves. Basta ito lang po yung cap. 2 times na finals or 3 times na semifinals, whichever comes first. If you haven't reached that particular cap, then you could join at any given time. So that is in terms of the eligibility requirements. For this part, just breeze through the selection criteria of the award. What are we looking for in an outstanding Filipino? There are only 3 essential criteria for the competition: values, service, and community. Again, values, service, and community. 3 essential criteria. Let's just put a pin on that and elaborate a little bit. What we are looking for in terms of values is we are looking at a police officer as a responsible citizen. We are looking at how the police officer is actually exhibiting the Filipino values of patriotism, heroism, and courage, both in your personal and professional life. At the same time, we are also looking at police officers as to how what is your sense of the common good. So there are particular rubrics for this particular criteria. The second essential criteria is service. We are looking at a police officer as an exemplary public servant, and we are looking at how you demonstrate honesty, integrity, and professionalism. And since this is a career service award, the assessment is always both personal and professional. Again, apart from this, we're also looking at your attitude towards the profession, towards the police profession in general. And the last component of the criteria is we're looking at police officers who are positive agents of change and influence. We are also looking at the police officer's contribution to the community, how you demonstrate effective leadership through the work that you do or to the initiatives that you do, and your ability to translate knowledge into action as well as your vision for the future. So this is just a quick iteration of the major selection criteria that we are looking for an outstanding Filipino. Values as a responsible citizen, service as an exemplary public servant, and community as a positive agent of change and influence. So those are the essential criteria. I think before you came in, you're already provided with an eligibility requirement. But if you need further clarifications, the Metrobank Foundation is available to attend to you either in groups or even one by one. So we'll be able to, hopefully we'll be able to help you out. Now, in terms of the next iterations, that's it on my end in terms of your essential eligibility requirements. At this point, I'll turn you back to our host to proceed with the remainder of the requirements, particularly highlighting on the procedures for nomination. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll be accepting questions during the Q&A session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Sir Kenny Fernando of the Metrobank Foundation. To walk us through the nomination procedures and how we can take part in this prestigious recognition, may I call on Ms. Cristal Batino, the Assistant Program Manager of the Excellence Awards Unit of the Metrobank Foundation. Ma'am.
Thank you very much, Major Helen de la Cruz. So at this point, no, as I just want to reiterate that if you have any questions, especially with the administrative, the civil, or the criminal cases, and the ones about the leaves, because that's usually, I'm the person who is in charge of the police officers competition. So if you have any questions, you may direct them to me. So usually those are the questions that are being asked about the leaves, about the cases. So please do ask if you have any questions, whether it's online or on site. So at this point, I will just, can you see me? Maliit masyado. Pasensya na, medyo vertically challenged. But anyway, at this point, I will talk about the nomination procedures. We made it as simple as possible. So this is just 2 steps. There are various steps, but the first part, so when you join, it's just 2 steps. And these are all online. So the first one is about the procedures. We just want to reiterate that this is an open nomination. So it's open for civilians and also for police officers. However, there are some rules. So for example, nominators must be of legal age and must not be related to you if you are the nominee until the 3rd degree of consanguinity or affinity. So when you say 3rd degree, so the first is your kung anak mo or yung magulang mo, and then your grandfather, your grandparents, and then your titas and titos or your nieces and nephews. So hindi po pwede hanggang sa degree na yon, whether by blood or by affinity, which is your spouse. So hindi rin pwede yung father-in-law mo or yung mother-in-law, your grandparent-in-law, until their aunts and uncles. So up to that point, hindi pwede na sila yung maging nominators. And then self-nominations are not accepted. Of course, we do believe that you just heard the eligibility requirements earlier. They are very simple. And right now, you can actually assess if you are eligible or not, right? So there are only 6 requirements. And you know also if you have accomplishments in the service or in the community, at alam mo naman kung ikaw ay, your values are out there. So, but when we say self-nominations are not accepted, if you are a nominee, we just do not want you to put your name as the nominator also. So, yun lang naman yun. So if you are a nominee, you have to have a nominator, and we will be discussing who those nominators are later on. Each nominator may only endorse 1 nominee in the program and vice versa. There are no extra points if you have a lot of nominators. And there are no extra points also if you are a nominator and you nominate a lot of police officers. And that happened. We had one time wherein one nominee has been nominated by 20 or even more nominators. So we just ask him to identify 1 nominator. There's no extra point for that. We just need 1 nominator and 1 for each nominee. So multiple nominations submitted by the same individual will not be given due course. We will always give it back your application to you and ask you to identify who your nominator is. Or if you are a nominator, we will ask you to choose who will be your 1 nominee. So 1:1 lang po tayo. Now, who can nominate? Who are these nominators? So among the police officers, the nominators are those who have earned their ranks, their stars. So from Police Brigadier General up to the Police General, the commanding officer or the immediate superior of the nominee, chiefs of police of city or municipal police stations, city directors, provincial directors, district directors, directors of regional support units, regional directors, area police commanders, directors of national support units, and directors of national operational support units, directorial staff, and command group. Just a rule here that if you are a nominee, your nominator must be of equal rank, your equal rank, or even higher. Because sometimes, there was one time when a police officer who is a colonel, since it's stated there that a nominator can be, for example, a chief of police, and that chief of police is a rank lower than him, he asked that person to be a nominator. So for the nominees, make sure that you are of equal rank to the nominator, at least equal rank to the nominator, or your nominator should have a rank higher than you. Now, these are for the Philippine National Police. However, since it's an open nomination, we have civilian nominators, and these are multi-sectoral nominators, meaning these people can actually nominate in a police officer, a soldier, or even a teacher. So government officials and leaders, so these are the elected officials, heads of agencies, and individuals holding the rank of at least a division chief with salary grade 24 or its equivalent. Journalists and members of the media, business leaders, religious leaders, presidents, this is a new one this year, presidents of duly chartered Rotary clubs in the Philippines. So for example, we have here a Rotary Club of New Manila East. They can actually nominate one teacher, one soldier, and one police officer, but just one per sector. And the president will be the representative of the Rotary Club. We also have leaders of civil society groups, pili na lang po kayo, non-government organizations, foundations, charitable organizations, faith-based organizations, professional associations, community groups, labor unions, indigenous groups, among others. Last year, we had a variety of nominators coming from multi-sectoral nominators from the civilian sector. Meron ding pare, may media, at kung ano man yung nandyan, meron. And then of course, we have awardees here present. May I just ask the awardees here to stand up? Alright, so these awardees can actually, thank you, these awardees can actually be nominators. But at this point, hindi na it doesn't require that they will already nominate a person who is the same rank as them. So they can nominate even a person who has a higher rank than them. For example, we have a police lieutenant. A police lieutenant, since she already is an awardee, can already nominate someone who has a higher rank than her. For example, a police lieutenant colonel, or a police major, or even a police colonel. So we have awardees of the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos from 1985 up to the present time. It can also be cross-sectoral. So a police officer awardee can nominate a soldier or a teacher, and that happens. So these are all the authorized nominators, because we have authorized nominators. I mentioned earlier that leader of a religious group, so leader, because there was one time when the nominator was a member of the religious group. So we had to give back the application to the police officer and say, you have to get the signature or the nominator, which is the leader of that religious group. So kailangan yung leader po. So these are now the step-by-step procedure for nominations. As mentioned, these are only 2 steps, and all of these are done online. So the first step is for nominees. So if you are a nominator, wala ka pang gagawin dito. So for nominees, you have to accomplish the nomination form, which is what we call the OF form number 1, 101-B, via the prescribed nomination portal. We have 2 nomination portals there, but they will lead to the same form. We just want to give an alternate just to make sure that these are working. So the first one is the bit.ly /2026OF-nominate, and the other one is via tinyurl.com/2026OF-nominate. So these are for the nominees. If you want to join, then this is the link and the barcodes that you should be getting. We will also be asking you to submit 2 documents. So the first one is your latest 2x2 photo in uniform. It would be much better if you will be in GOA A or in GOA B. Photo must be clear, taken against a white background showing the full face from the front with eyes open, and selfies are not allowed. And the other document is a valid identification card. We encourage you to submit your police officer IDs back to back. Kasi yung iba front lang, makikita lang naman doon is your name and your photo. So we also need the information at the back, especially the TIN. There was one time last year wherein an awardee just found out that the TIN that he has been using was the TIN of his classmate. So he mentioned that if he didn't join the award, then he wouldn't know. He is about to retire in 2 years, and he wouldn't know that he was using not his TIN, but the TIN of his classmate. So baka you also want to look at that, no? There's an online link wherein you will find out whether your TIN is working or not, or even if it's your name that's presented there or not. All right, so when you are, before you go on to the, before you click the link and fill out the nomination form, these are the informations that you need to have. Of course, your personal information. And the key word there is personal. So that means when we are asking for contact numbers, it should be your contact number or at least the contact number of your secretary or your executive assistant, unless you want the office to find out what our questions are. Because sometimes when we do the eligibility checking, we go back to the nominee and clarify some questions. So when it says there, personal information, personal contact number, personal email address, make sure that it's your personal email address that only you will be the one to open, or at least your secretary or your wife. And then professional information. So this is about you as a police officer. Diyan ninyo na po pwedeng ilagay yung office email or your office phone number. Kasi at least hindi ganun ka-personal yung mga questions na pwedeng tanungin. Because some of the questions that we would be asking is that, are you married legally? If you wrote there that you are, for example, separated, is this a legal separation? So you wouldn't want your office maybe to know about that information or to know that we are asking that information. So just please make sure that there is a difference between the personal information and the professional information. And then your educational background, your performance evaluation, this is the 10 years that Kenny has been talking about already. So the very satisfactory is the second highest. So I don't know if you're also using very satisfactory as description or maybe highly satisfactory, but that's the second highest description or performance evaluation in your institution. And then competition record, this is just if you have reached the semifinal stage or the final stage of the competition. Character record, this is the civil, criminal, and administrative cases. So this is where you will already write whether you have any pending cases or any cases that have been resolved. Basta lahat ng mga cases that you have, whether this is resolved or are still pending. Now, if you have questions about cases that are just admin, for example, yung tamang bihis, you still write it there. We just want you to be transparent in the information that you write. Mas okay na yung transparent kaysa yung naglilihim ka and then because as Kenny mentioned earlier, there are background investigations and field validations happening. So just put it there and then we will clarify. Anyway, the first checking of eligibility is a secretariat, so me actually. So that falls on me and our team in the Excellence Awards unit. So if you have questions and clarifications, don't worry, hindi naman namin kayo i-disqualify na hindi natin naka-clarify lahat ng mga dapat i-clarify. So just be transparent in the information that you are putting in the nomination forms, and if you are not sure, then just ask us about it. Character references, this is the same thing with the nominators. Make sure that they are not up to the third degree of consanguinity or affinity. And then nominators' personal information. So at this point, before you click the link, you know that you should already have a nominator. And at least the information that will be asked there is the position, the office, the mobile number, and the email address of that nominator. Hanggang ganun lang naman. And what your relationship to the nominator is. So whether that person is your superior, etc. And then of course, the required documents for upload, yan na yung sinabi ko kanina, your 2x2 photo and your ID, valid government ID. Alright, so after you have clicked submit, please make sure that you click submit. Because sometimes they call me and say, walang dumarating sa akin, ma'am, clinic mo ba yung submit? So hindi naman. So just please make sure that you do this. So upon submission of your online nomination form, you should be getting a complete copy of your nomination via email for your reference. So there's no need to return this nomination form with your signature because the fact that you have, there is a disclaimer there or instruction that the fact that you have written your name here would already ensure that you have already signed digitally. So nominee certification, consent, and agreement have already been digitized. And the sender will be Metrobank Foundation, postmark as outstandingfilipinos.mbfi@gmail.com. So it may turn in your inbox or your spam or junk folder, so make sure to check that part of your email also. So these are the two forms that will be part of what will the reply sent. So once you click submit, then this will be part of the attached document in the email that will be sent back to you, the nomination form that you have already answered, and then the OF form number 2. This is now the nominator certification, and this is where the nominator will come in. You have to print this out and ask your nominator to sign. It should be wet signature, it's not digital. So once you get the wet signature of your nominator, then you scan it and send it back to us. Right? So when you send it back to us, you will submit via this link. So submission portal bit.ly/2026OF-submit certification, and then the tiny URL equivalent. So there are two links there. The first link is for the nominee, that's for the nomination form, that's form 101. And then the other one is when you get already the signature of your nominator, you will submit that form. That's only one page. Scan it and submit it via this link, and then you're done. So make sure that you download and fill out the form, print the accomplished form, and have your nominator physically sign. So hindi po pwede yung digital signature, it has to be physically signed, and then scan it, submit it to us via the submission portal. And then this is the one that you should, this is the form that you should receive after you have submitted. And the deadline of all of these two forms, is on January 23, Friday at 11:59 p.m. So what are you supposed to be submitting? Number 1 is submission of the nomination form via the nomination portal. So please do not send it to us via email, for example. So this is only via the submission portal. Once you have clicked submit, that's it already. And then the other one is submission of the nominator certification form via the submission portal. So just 2 steps. Now, in the past years, we have extended the deadlines, but this is now the deadliest deadline. So there is no more space for us to extend the deadline. This is it, January 23 at 11:59 p.m. Okay, so after that, we will be assessing your eligibility. We will screen who are eligible, and then we will be notifying you via email and via Viber, especially for police officers, via Viber and via email. So you will know if you are qualified or not. And sometimes we do not wait up to January 23 to tell you that you are qualified. Okay, so we do weekly, monthly eligibility assessments. And once we have a group of individuals who are already eligible, then we can inform you so that you can start preparing for the next steps. Kasi mas madugo yung next steps. So there are only 2 requirements. Just to reiterate, there are only 2 requirements to be filled out up to January 23. So these are the nomination form number 1. Again, these forms are actually downloaded via our website. Now, when you download that nomination form number 1, that's the blank, a template of the forms. You don't need to fill that out. That is just a reference for you. What we will be recognizing is the one that you have submitted via the link, ones that you have filled out via the link. And then the nominator certification form number 2. So only pre-qualifiers meaning these are eligible for the search, will be asked to submit the succeeding requirements. There are 2 sets of succeeding requirements for the pre-qualifiers. Number 1, you will be asked to submit your milestone accomplishments. We have made it again very simple. So from 10 to 6, back to 10, and then now only 2. So you are only asked to submit 1 milestone accomplishment for service, and then 1 milestone accomplishment for the community. So you really have to choose which accomplishments would you want to highlight in those 2 categories. So besides the milestone accomplishments, you will also be asked to submit supporting documents. So only pre-qualifiers will be asked to submit. When we already tell you that you are eligible, then you may move on to the next part, which is submission of these documents already. So these are the links. So this is for the nomination portal, for the nominees to accomplish. And then when you have already the signature of your nominator, you will submit via the submission portal. So anong isasubmit? Isang page lang po for the submission portal for the nominator's certificate. Right? So for reference, just for reference, you may download our resources via our official website and via the Google Drive. So this is our official website. The forms are there. You want to see the forms, nomination forms, milestone accomplishment forms, supporting document forms. It's all there in the website, but just please use them for reference. And then we also have our public resources in Google Drive. So the PowerPoint, the various learning sessions that we will be doing up to January will be uploaded in this Google Drive. And we will also be doing, after this, we will be conducting on-site information campaigns in the following regions. So we will be going to the Ilocos region, to Cagayan Valley, Bicol region, Eastern Visayas, Northern Mindanao, Davao region, Caraga, Cordillera Administrative Region, Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. And if we still have time, take note, tatlo kami ngayon. Tatlo pa lang kami ngayon in the Excellence Awards Unit. We're still looking for one more. We have a regular member of 4 members, including Kenny, in the unit. So we will be going throughout the country to conduct on-site information campaigns. And so if we still have more time, then we will be going to Central Luzon and Zamboanga Peninsula. So just bear with us. We'll be contacting you, especially the ARCADs and the regional directors, to assist us to conduct the information campaigns on-site nationwide. So we will be starting this in November 24, November 24 up to January 16. All right, so that's it for me. Again, if you have questions, please do not hesitate to ask your questions during the Q&A.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Cristal Batino of the Metrobank Foundation Incorporated. Kumusta naman po tayong lahat? Ayan. Ma'am, nagtitake note po sila, sir, sa iyong mga requirements. To share his inspiring journey as a Metrobank Foundation outstanding Filipino and to give us a deeper look into the search process, let's warmly welcome Police Colonel Byron Alatog, 2014 Outstanding Filipino Police Officer and 2019 awardee for continuing excellence in service, and now the Chief of Police of Taguig City. Sir.
Good afternoon. Distinguished officers, comrades in the PNP service, and future awardees, magandang hapon sa atin lahat. Allow me please to go straight to my testimony. At 2 minutes lang binigay ni Ma'am Cristal, kaya basahin ko na lang. Anyway, as a past awardee, please allow me to share not just the mechanics of the search. So as we have seen a while ago, yung mechanics, sabi ni Sir Kenny, there is values, service, community. So those 3 words or ano yung mga kwandes, nagre-revolve doon yung mga tinitingnan yung Metrobank. So, but beyond those realities or beyond those mechanics of the search, titingnan natin yung how mga live realities behind it. So, what it takes, what to expect, and probably how to prepare so that your story of service shines with truth, with purpose, and with impact. So, meron akong naisip na about the 4 live realities that maybe I can share. This is not absolute, but maybe we can delve into it and it can help us craft yung story natin of service. So one reality is yung excellence or beyond excellence, palagi na nakikita natin, is a daily commitment, not a one-time project. So makikita yan when we share our stories or yung mga service experiences natin. So kung one time mo lang ginawa talaga, medyo mapapansin yan ng mga nagbabasa sa mga write-ups natin. So before the forms, before the documentation, and before the validation teams, there must first be a track record of authentic service. So let us check our service. Authentic ba to? Or just merely superficial na just for the search? Because pag authentic siya, natural lang siya na kwan. Most especially pag sa phases of it will go through. Metrobank looks for more than accomplishments. They look for yung continuity. So kung teniente tayo hanggang nag-major tayo, hanggang nag-lieutenant colonel, makikita na yung years of sustained performance. Tinitingnan yung character, integrity despite pressures, and also yung community impact. Yung mga initiatives natin, hindi naman kailangan maging assign ka sa PCR or sa ARCAD para lang makita yung initiatives that change lives. Even if you're assigned with the intelligence group, you can actually craft your own narrative, your own story, supported by the community. We all know naman na dito sa Pilipinas, lahat naman ng informations are coming from, tawag doon, human, tao. So, wala sa satellite, sa US na satellite yung mga information nila. So, doon pa lang, yung tao, yun ang community. So, doon tayo nagde-delve. And of course, yung leadership influence. Titingnan yung mga influence natin on our leaderships na We go for innovations, reforms. We go for systems that uplift others. So your nomination is not about becoming a model officer. It is about reflecting a lifetime of consistent small wins since teniente or for the PNCO, patrolman going sa rank new. Small wins that build better communities and safer cities. Yung pangalawang realities that I would like to share also is about preparing your documents. There must be their documents, there must be clarity, there must be, it's evidence-based, and yung storytelling. There must be storytelling yung accomplishment po natin. The biggest mistakes candidates make is treating the nomination forms like parang PDS, yung curriculum vitae, CV. They are not. The forms are a narrative of your service. So yung pinapakita ni Ma'am Crystal is, it should be a form, yung narratives ng service natin. It's not just merely a parang CV. Strengthened by evidence. So today, importante yung mga links. They're always the links. 14 years ago, ano pa yung folders, tapos cutouts yung sinasubmit namin eh. Parang dala-dala ko pa, daling ko sa Makati. Ang kakapal ng dala namin na folders. So, uso yung cutouts na news clippings. But today, it's basically digitized. So links ang important. I think you can also, yung mga Facebook pages ng ating units, those are official naman. Yun ang links na sinasabi natin na we can put as evidence if you could not provide one. Kasi i-click-click lang naman ni Sir Kenny yan, makikita dyan kung ikaw talaga ang andun or yung tao mo. So those things are important sa evidence-based na preparing our documents. So how to organize your accomplishments? We must organize them also. May teams siya. As you can see na a while ago na present ni Sir Kenny, it's about values, it's about, sabi niya doon, service, it's about community. So what MBFI or Metrobank Foundation Incorporated responds strongly to yung community-centered policing. So pag hindi ka naman mahilig din doon, it's more on the anti-criminality and high-impact operations grounded on human rights. Those things, dapat ito yung mga nakikita natin sa write-ups. About integrity, anti-corruption work. It's about innovation in law enforcement also. Pag nasa DCIT tayo or ITMS, and even police stations. They're looking for youth and community empowerment programs also. And institutional reforms na ginagawa natin sa ating respective units. So those teams, dapat may mga teams na from your service report or from your service accomplishment reports, dapat nakikita yung mga teams such as those. Also, we have to provide concrete evidence of the impact. So, yung mga major accomplishments natin must be before and after data. Dapat database siya. Before, may mga photos, reports, commendations, kailangan i-digitize din siya. We need also community testimonials kasi nagbabalidate din yung MBFI. So, dapat good talaga tayo sa community natin, most especially our LGUs, saka yung mga naiwanan natin ng mga tao natin sa police stations and other units. Kasi sila ang magbabalidate din sa atin. Remember, if it is not documented, it does not exist. So, kailangan talagang documented siya. MBFI values measurable results. So, pangatlo sa realities that I want to share is, what are the things to expect during the search? So, there are 4 things that we can expect from this search. Yun nga una, yung documentary validation. So, So you have to submit through links, pinakita. So we should be consistent sa dates. Authentic documents also. Siyempre, huwag tayong mag-drawing. Kung mahilig tayo mag-drawing, dapat it should be authentic yung mga documents natin. Remember also the field validation na sinasabi nila. So expect interviews. They will visit your unit, your former units. So they will talk to your former men. Kaya importante na kailangan talaga na they expect much na okay tayo sa mga tao natin. Kasi it's not about yung sinulat mo but also yung legacy mo na iniwan mo doon sa unit natin. So those things, they will ask questions about yung leadership style mo, they will ask about yung integrity mo, and also maybe they will ask you how's your decision-making processes. So this field validation, this is where the truth of your leadership emerges. So it's not just the medals or the commendations. So pangatlo yung panel interview. So with this panel interview, pag nakapasa na tayo lahat sa documentation, we expect multi-sectoral panel members. So we don't expect yung mga barangay kapitan na andun, but high-level panel members. They're coming from, if hindi pa rin napalitan hanggang ngayon, is yung mga Supreme Court justices, senators, congressman, media, and other religious sectors. So this panel is not testing your memory. So there will be a series of questions. They are testing your sense of purpose. They're looking at ano ba yung sinulat mo and totoo ba talaga yan. So pang-apat about how I can share is about tips to succeed based on what I've seen, on my experience also. So we have to, for applicants, you have to own your narrative. So do not inflate stories na nakita natin sa iba, kokopyahin mo lang din. So own your own narrative. Dapat you have to define your narrative based on your accomplishments. Authenticity always resonates more than the grand claims. So pangalawa is highlight your service and let us not highlight yung self. Most especially, mga iba may nakikita ko always highlighting yung rank. Yung rank nila ang palaging hina-highlight. So Metrobank awardees succeed because their stories are not about me. They are about the people who were served, the people who were uplifted, and the people who were protected. Pangatlo is balance yung head and heart. There's always saying that facts plus empathy equals a compelling story of public service. So there must always be facts, mayroon pa rin yung empathy because diyan nga nakita natin yung sabi ni Sir Ken, it always goes with community. Panglima is about engage your stakeholders early, as I've told a while ago. Your LGUs, communities, partner NGOs, and subordinates should be aware of your initiatives. Kwentuhan siguro natin sila para malaman nila na, para i-treat siguro natin sila sa, pakainin natin para pag nag-validate si Ma'am Crystal, galing yan. They will be interviewed. And lastly, this could be my final message. Let your service speak for you. Colleagues in this job, medals tarnish, positions change, and assignments rotate. But the legacy you build, the lives you touch, the reforms that you started, the communities you protected will always remain. The Metrobank search is not about winning. It's about showing that a police officer can be excellent, compassionate, incorruptible, and transformative at the same time. If you live your life in service with integrity and purpose, then you are already carrying the qualities of the outstanding Filipinos being searched by the Metrobank. Today is simply the moment to bring that light to a national stage. Maraming salamat at mabuhay tayong lahat.
Maraming salamat, sir. Police Colonel Byron Alatog of the Chief of Police of the Taguig City. Isa lang ang sinasabi ni Sir. Ngayon daw, sa search na ito ay pagkakataon na po natin na iyabang ang ating mga accomplishment, ang ating service sa ating community. Ito yung chance na mapakita natin na hindi tayo mahihiya dahil nag-search naman sila. Maraming salamat. We know many of you may have questions or thoughts about the search process, and we'd love to hear them. We're now opening the floor for your questions, clarifications, or comments. This is a great opportunity to engage, share your insights, or raise anything that's on your mind. Microphones have been set up in the middle aisle for your convenience. When you step up, kindly introduce yourself by stating your name, position, and office or units before sharing your question or comment. Joining us to respond to your inquiries are the dedicated members of the Search Secretariat from Metrobank Foundation, Mr. Kenny Ralph Fernando and Ms. Cristal Batino, alongside our esteemed awardees, Police Major General Wilson Lopez, the Director for Intelligence, Police Colonel Byron Alatog, the Chief of Police of Taguig, and our inspirational speaker, Attorney Samuel Pagdilao. We're looking forward to a meaningful open exchange. Please don't hesitate to speak up. Thank you. The floor, the ground is now open for question and answer, sir. Also around are the awardees of the Metrobank Foundations na mag-a-assist. Thank you. May napili na pa ba kayo dyan, ma'am, to Sarsoso sa likod? May interesado na po ba? Sir. Naintindihan na lang na silang question, sir. Yes, ma'am. Maliwanag yata, ma'am, ang ating explanation. So, sa mga magtatanong, available naman ang ating from the Metrobank with all the contact details at saka yung QR code provided para sa mga katanungan. At pwede rin sa amin, yung mga nahihiya, pwede rin sa amin. We will entertain also kung ano yung mga iba pang mga tips or personal na may mga questions na. Yes, ma'am. Police Lieutenant Joy Manuela from the Pasig City Police.
Good afternoon po. We would like to have a clarification. May limit po ba ng nomination per unit, BNP unit? For example, NCRPO, Pro 1, may limit po ba ng nomination? Thank you.
Ma'am Cristal, please answer. Thank you, Ma'am Joy. Ma'am Joy is a 2015 Metrobank Foundation awardee. Thank you.
Hello. All right. So, for police officers and soldiers, generally for the military and the uniformed personnel, there are no limits for the stations. Unlike for the teachers, kasi there's a limit for the basic education for teachers, meaning elementary and secondary. Only one teacher is allowed per school. But for the military and the uniformed personnel, there are no limits as to how many police officers, well, as long as you're eligible in the stations to be joining the search.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Police Lieutenant T. Jane Sarzoso.
Hello, ma'am. I would just like to ask if there's a platform or an application, YouTube channel or something, where our police officers can have a glance on what the past awardees have been doing so that they can say na, oy, pwede pala ako because she has been doing this. Meron naman din akong ganitong ginawa. Because during my time, I was an awardee in 2006. Siguro ako yung pinakamatanda dito. I was then PO2 when I won the award. And then I just look at the past or the previous awardees kung ano yung ginawa nila. Luckily, I went to a seminar and then may awardee doon and then he encouraged me to join. So sabi ko, ano bang ginawa mo? And then when I look into my records, uy, may nagawa din pala ako that pwede din siyang manalo. Which in 2006, yun na nga, I made it to one of the 10 outstanding policemen in service sa Metrobank Foundation. So siguro we need to have that platform or a YouTube channel where we can put all our, yung mga past na ginawa ng mga awardees. Although, yes, we do have yung sa ngayon, yung every year, siguro i-compile lang natin yun because there are winners, no? We have 10 during our time, and then now, tatlo-tatlo, para makita ng mga future awardees natin na it can inspire na meron pala silang ginawa that is worth the award. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Ika nga, ma'am, ay not to boast, but to inspire. Siguro, Sir Kenny, ang makakasagot sa katanungan ni Ma'am T. Jane Sarzoso.
Thank you for the question. The answer to the question is yes, meron. And it's divided into two things. The first one, we have a publication that we call a souvenir program. It's a publication about the awardees, a write-up of their accomplishments that we publish every year during their awarding and distributed. So it's available in our website and across our social channels. And likewise, the second item is we are also producing what we call impact stories or the video stories of these outstanding Filipinos. If you were here earlier at the Multipurpose Center, I think the short forms, about a minute or two, were shown earlier with Major Relox, Staff Sergeant Velasco, and Colonel Obar in terms of their accomplishments. But we produce a full-length stories, a video documentary format about their most outstanding accomplishment as to why they were named as the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos, or at least part of their many accomplishments. And all of those, the publication and the videos are readily available across different channels. The first one, I think it was flashed earlier, the website of the Metrobank Foundation, it's www.mbfoundation.org.ph. There is a publication section as well, a part for the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos, where you could download all our souvenir programs from 1985 until 2025. Likewise, for the video stories, beginning 2016 onwards until the present, it could be accessible in the YouTube channel of the Metrobank Foundation and our Facebook page. Just look for Metrobank Foundation or Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos. But since we anticipate that you will also be looking for that, in the earlier link that was provided, which we already provided to the Philippine National Police, there is a public resources folder that we created for 2026 cycle of the competition, wherein the recent publications about the 2025 winners, the write-up of their accomplishments are there, including the videos. So yes, these are readily available and accessible online and across different channels. I hope that answers the question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir Kenny. Any other question? Last two questions? Maganda talaga ma'am ang pagkaka-info drive, no? Maliwanag, madali lang yung search. Madali lang siya. Simplified na ngayon, so hindi masyadong komplikado. Pag mag-start na yung mag-i-entertain na lang din tayo ng questions. Okay? So dahil wala na po tayong mga katanungan at maliwanag naman po, let us now welcome our Director for Intelligence, Police Major General Wilson Lopez, to deliver the directives to all our potential nominators and nominees. Sir.
To our partners from the Metrobank, General Pagdilaw, sir, and of course, the President of the Rotary Club of New Manila East, to the future awardees. Once again, good afternoon po sa ating pong lahat. As we conclude this meaningful session on the Metrobank Foundation's outstanding Filipino search, on behalf of the Chief of the Philippine National Police, Police Lieutenant General Jose Melencio Nartatis Jr., allow me to extend our deepest gratitude and highest respect to the Metrobank Foundation for your unwavering commitment to honoring the men and women who dedicate their lives to public service, our law enforcers. The recognition you have continuously given to our deserving police officers over the years has greatly uplifted the morale and welfare of the Philippine National Police. For many years, the search for the Metrobank Foundation, Outstanding Filipinos, has served as a shining reminder that service to the nation is not merely a duty, but a noble calling. This recognition gives meaning to the everyday sacrifices of those who perform their work with integrity, courage, and compassion, often without fanfare or recognition. Behind every medals and citations are stories of sacrifices, of sleepless nights, of risks taken, of families patiently waiting for their loved ones' safe return to their homes. For this, we thank the Metrobank Foundation for seeing beyond the uniform and recognizing the humanity and dedication that drive our public servants. Today, the Metrobank Foundation once again opened its doors to the Philippine National Police for another opportunity to be recognized. I encourage every member of the Philippine National Police to actively participate and ensure that the candidates we endorse truly embody the values of excellence, integrity, and public service. Let us make sure that those we put forward are genuinely deserving through reflections of what it means to be a PNP public servant. This will not only bring pride to our organization, but also uphold the honor and integrity of the Metrobank Foundation. The partnership between the PNP and the Metrobank Foundation reminds us that excellence and service is not achieved alone. It flourishes through collaboration, trust, and of course, the shared purpose. And together, we should build a safer, stronger, and more compassionate Philippines. Once again, maraming salamat po at mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you very much, sir. As we conclude this significant occasion, may I invite the President of the Rotary Club of New Manila East, Mr. Majumi Borlaza, to deliver the closing remarks. Sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As we draw to the close of today's hybrid nationwide information campaign, I want to sincerely thank each of you for your active participation and attention. We are truly grateful to our speakers and everyone who contributed to making this campaign a success. I hope the guidelines we shared have made it clear how to nominate deserving individuals for the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos Award for Police Officers. Because through nomination, we are now celebrating 725 outstanding Filipinos. Through nominations, we acknowledge the contributions of our dedicated police officers. Through nomination, we are able to recognize those who are giving more than the call of duty. And through nomination, we highlight inspirations who will guide and inspire a whole new generation. Remember, recognizing excellence starts with your nomination. Let us continue to support and uplift the men and women in uniform by recognizing their unwavering commitment to service and integrity. Your nomination is more than a formality. It is a tribute, a celebration, and a beacon of inspiration for others to follow. Thank you once again, and I encourage all of you to submit your nominations and help us honor the true heroes among us. Have a safe and productive day. Muli, magandang hapon po at mabuhay tayong lahat.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Please remain on stage, sir. May I request Mr. Kenny Ralph Fernando and Ms. Crystal Batino from the Metrobank Foundation to present the tokens of appreciation to our guests and speaker. Mr. Majomi Berlaza, the President of the Rotary Club of New Manila East, the institutional partner of the Metrobank Foundation and the Philippine National Police and PS Bank for the search of the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Police Officers. Next, may I call on Police Colonel Byron F. Alato, the Chief of Police, Taguig City. May I request on stage Police Major General Wilson Joseph F. Lopez, the Director for Intelligence. Thank you very much, sir. And to my former director, my very own, Attorney Samuel D. Pagdilao, our guest of honor and speaker for today's event. Sir. Sir, may we request for photo opportunities sa lahat ng guests together with the awardees bago tayo pumunta sa baba. On deck to follow all the awardees with our guests on stage. Thank you. Ivan. Sir Reyes. And lahat po ng former awardees, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. May I request also na magkaroon tayo ng photo opportunity with all our attendees, sir. Kasama pala ako doon. Thank you, ma'am. Kasama din po sana yung mga, paano ba yung sa online, sa Zoom? Pwede din ba sila? Okay po, thank you. That concludes our nomination information drive for today. Meron po tayong refreshment, may snacks po tayo upon your